Good morning students. In today's session, I am going to discuss with you the importance of statistics in economics. Well children, do you know statistics is the lifeline of economics? It is because of its growing use by the economist. So to begin with the importance of statistics or let's say to highlight the significance of statistics in economics, the very first one is quantitative expression of economic problems. That means that to consider any of our economic problem, let's say the problem of unemployment or the problem of price rise or the problem of shrinking export, the very first task of the economist is to understand its magnitude, and that is being understood only through its quantitative expression, that is by the collection of data. Let's say for example, if we say that the problem of unemployment, when it is been taken in a quantitative way, let's say 20% of the India's working population is unemployed, or let's say that between the year 1995 to 2010 the percentage of unemployed working population has increased from 18% to 9.4%. Now this shows that statistics is important in economics. The reason, it's only through statistics that you are able to solve some or the other economic problems by collecting the data. Now the next one is the inter-sectoral and intertemporal comparison. Now children, here you have to understand that economists do not stop merely at the quantitative expression of the problems. That means they don't stop by collecting the data on the economic problems, but at the same time they do assess the data also, and that is when we talk about intersectoral and intertemporal. If we take intersectoral comparison, here we mean when the comparison is being done across different sectors of the economy. For example, if we take the problem of unemployment, then economists would like to know the magnitude of unemployment, that too in rural area also and in urban areas also. That means that they would like to know that what percentage of rural population is unemployed as compared to the urban population. Then if we talk about intertemporal comparison, now over here it means to understand the change in the magnitude of problem. That means now under this intertemporal, what we do is the economists now find out what is the reason of that difference in the data between rural and urban areas. This would mean that after making a comparison over a different plan or period of a rural and urban employment, that is rural and urban unemployment. Now the next importance of statistics is working out cause and effect relationship. That means that economists, they try to find out cause and effect relationship between the different sets of data. Now why they do this? They do this because this enables them to attempt an, let's say, a very effective diagnosis of the problem, and accordingly only they could suggest the remedies. Now if we say that if economists come to know that it is because of the decline in demand that investment in the economy is also declining or shrinking, means if they come to know that because demand is not generating, due to which the investment is also shrinking, so they can suggest the government to adopt certain measures, such measures which could raise the level of demand in the economy, and that could be done only when they collect the data. Next could be formulation of policies. Do you know that this is a very important part of statistics? That is, how does our government they form the policies? For example, our finance minister decides to increase or decrease taxation as a source of government revenue. As you all know, government gets the money by means of taxes, but how do they come to know that they have to increase or decrease the taxes? obviously when they do these statistical studies. That means when they do collect the data. And it is through statistical investigation only that the finance minister gets the feedback on the tax paying capacity of the people and revenue needs of the government. And accordingly, the tax rates are being fixed. When required, it has to be increased, and at the same time, not at the discomfort of the people. Like for example, in order to ensure the equilibrium, now the next one is the economic equilibrium. Now when we talk about economic equilibrium is a stage where everything is said to be in a stable situation. So it is a state of a balance, you can say, balance for the producer or the consumer. Now, or it can also say, you can also say that in order to ensure equilibrium between market demand and market supply, or we can say it is a state of balance between consumer and the producer, because where producer finds that his profits are maximum or where the consumer finds when his satisfaction level is maximum. So it is through the use of statistical method that the economists come to the conclusion that how the profit of the producers are maximized or how the consumer gets maximum satisfaction. Then the next one is the construction of economic theories. Now children, what is economic theory, right? When we'll move further, we'll be studying about the demand, price, supply theory. Now do you know that these theories, they only offer the conclusion to these economic significance? Like a well-known relationship is between the price of a commodity and its demand. I think you all are familiar with this, that a theory has been established, that is a demand theory, which has been related with the price and demand. Now under this, what do we relate with each other? That if the price increases, then demand will decrease, and if the price decreases, the demand will increase. So it's a theory which has been formulated on the data which has been collected by means of statistics. And at the same time, we have to remember one thing also, that there is another important thing of economics, that is statistics in economics, is economic forecasting. Means you all might be watching the forecast on your television also. Then have you ever imagined like how do they come up with that forecast? You know, economists, they do the forecasting, and on what? On the basis of statistical studies. That means it doesn't mean that they are the astrologers, of course not, but they study the behavior of, let's say, a price level which may increase or decrease over several years. That means the economist can make statistical forecasting about the likely trend or pattern of the price level in the near future. That is, in the future, whether the price is going to rise or the price will come down. So this helps the people to do the future planning.